music. And so, again, what happened after that then? Redbus, you was there
then
for a while?
Then I went to PRT for a couple of years.
Down in Marble Arch?
Yeah, down in Great Cumberland Place, yeah. Because basically, I just sort of outgrew a bit of Redbus, you know. Of course, Redbus was sort of licensed to PRT or distributed, you know, so there was a relationship all the way along. And then somebody at Pi asked me, said, hey, would you like to come here? A few more quid, you know. And I thought, hey, give it a whirl.
Step up.
Well, it wasn't really a step up. It was something I wanted to do. I wasn't really, you know, at that stage, money wasn't I just liked being in the music business. Yeah. And I worked there with a guy called Matt Hayward, who's still a great friend of mine from South Africa. And we had like the Casablanca label, Buddha label. We had all the Sugar Hill stuff, Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel. So all those guys came over. So I had like Buddha, and we had like, I had 2 or 3 years of dealing with great American labels.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And so many hits.
Yeah.
I mean, your wall at home must be covered
I can't put them up, Barry. They're in the basement now. There's a lot in the basement. Yeah, I have a lot of trouble with that, you know.
Have you ever counted how many hits you've been a part of?
I know how many discs I've got. I've got 131 discs. I know how many there is. I haven't got that many up there. No, yeah.
But they're lovely to have, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, well, good memories.
Yeah, good to look at occasionally. Yeah.
Okay, so PRT, and they had a fantastic studio as well. When I was with Brotherhood of Man, we used to do a lot of recording at PRT.
Yeah, Studio 1 and Studio 2 there. Fabulous, mate.
Yeah, and they had the fantastic cutting room as well.
Malcolm Davis.
With Malcolm Davis.
God bless him, he's died now, you know, 2 years ago. Very sad.
But he's famous for cutting that extra little bit in the Beatles.
Middle, yeah. And don't forget, he cut all the Beatles records, every one.
Yeah,
Malcolm was
He always used
famous.
to tell me that same story, and I said, you've told me this before.
Yeah, he was famous.
I cut the extra bit in the middle of the bit that goes round and round in the middle of Abbey Road.
Bit in the middle, put little messages in there. I love you, Tilly. Things like that, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so after PRT?
Well, PRT basically folded then because it was bought out by Australians, and they just asset stripped the whole place, and basically there was no more pipe, basically gone. And so Pete had already started doing his first production. They did a thing called Agents on Aeroplanes with Peter Robinson at RCA. That was their first record.
Okay.
As Stock Aitken Waterman. And Pete, we're still obviously in contact. He says, why don't you come and join me? And I says, any money? And he said, no money. I said, I can't do that then, Pete, at the moment.
And he did it with that Birmingham accent, or that Coventry accent.
Well, no money, mate. And but basically, he wanted to sort of set up a little label then and put this record out. And what really happened, he gave it to Nick East, and Nick East set up Supreme, and they had the Princess record, Sam You're Number One, which became a very big hit. Just after that, Pete rings me again. He said, Tills, you've got to come now. So I went over there, and the first project I was involved with was, I walked in and he played me this demo of Never Gonna Give You Up. And I went, wow. He said, do you think it's any good? And Mike stopped Mike, he weren't sure, and I'm going, this is sensational.
So they actually asked you, and it was your say-so?
No, not my say-so, but I like to think that
you had a part of it.
I did a wow. I did a wow.
Yeah.
You know, because the kid's voice, you're not going to believe it. But, so that was licensed onto RCA. Because they hadn't got the money to have a record company or such. But so the record company started a year later because we got very disillusioned. I took a version of Locomotion, Kylie Minogue, to every major record company.
Sure.
And everyone turned it down. Everyone turned it down. So Pete said, we'll start our own record company to us. So our first record was Mandy Smith, Just Can't Wait.
I remember that. She was the Bill Wyman girlfriend.
Well, we all went to the wedding. It was fantastic. And that didn't really happen, but it hovered around the charts, and it's still very popular today. Just Can't Wait. The Iberia mix is Ibiza mix, sensational. And then the second single was Kylie Minogue, I Should Be So Lucky. And I guess, as the story says, the rest is history.
Yeah. Now, Rick Astley, I remember just a little story, because I was the DJ at the Dome in Birmingham.
Okay, right.
Which was a great
venue,
big venue, right. And so we used to get some very good PAs there, you know, to come in and do a special appearance, and I'd received that record as a DJ promo, you know. I remember thinking, that's a really good record, that. And then they told me, your PA tonight is Rick Astley. So I went into the dressing room to prime them, you know, how they're going to come on stage and everything. And I saw this little young kid in the corner, and I said, can you tell us what Rick Astley is? I was expecting this big black fella.
Yeah, I know, mate. Most people were.
And he said, I'm Rick Astley. I went, are you? And anyway, he came on stage and he sung that song, and it was obvious. I went on stage and said, that is going to be a number one. It was just the reaction from the crowd. It was just instant, wasn't it?
What an incredible voice.
Yeah.
But you're right about Rick. I launched him in America January the following year. I went out to the States with him, and of course nobody knew anything about him there. They weren't really sure what to do with this.
Yeah.
It's black radio, white. America's black radio,
what
white
does it
radio,
go into? Yeah.
College radio, and a big station picked it up in Miami, the power stations. But everywhere we went with Rick, they thought he was like the cartoon character Howdy Doody. That little ginger-haired guy with freckles in America.
Yeah. He looked nothing like his voice.
They couldn't work it out at all.
No.
But Never Gonna Give You Up went to number one in America. And actually, the follow-up record went to number one in America, Together Forever. And it didn't go to number one in the UK. Mm-hmm. So we had 2 number ones on the trot in America.
Amazing.
Then a number one album.
Fantastic stuff.
RCA loved him then in America.
And then you had Kylie, so you had and then Jason as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Jason Donovan.
Basically, yeah. I mean, Kylie was on probably about a 4th, 5th single, and Mushroom flew over this guy called Jason Donovan, who was also in Neighbours. I mean, we never knew what Neighbours was, bearing in mind, because Neighbours was on at 9:30 in the morning originally, in England, and of course we were either at work or kids were at school, so nobody knew what it was.
You weren't up yet.
We weren't up yet. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we weren't up. And Jason came over, and we did this. Just so you know, Barry, we did this song "Nothing Can Divide Us" with Rick Astley, and Rick didn't like it.
Yeah.
So we redid it with Jason Donovan. So that's Jason Donovan's first hit.
Wow.
Nothing Can Divide Us.
Yeah.
The original version is by Rick. You haven't heard it,
no,
but he was
brilliant. But then you became like the biggest company, the biggest pop label. You had so many hits in a couple of years in the late 80s.
Yeah, in 1989 we had 9 number ones.
So
we had
incredible.
number one in the charts for I think about 20 weeks out of 52. Our record was number one.
Yeah. We
had the Sonia record, we had a Banana Run record, I think we had 2 or 3 Kylie records, 2 Jasons, including Too Many Broken Hearts, and a couple more.
Then you had Mel and Kim.
We had Mel and Kim, that was a little bit earlier, Mel and Kim showing out and that, because they were on Supreme with Nick,
Right.
But that year in '89 was.
But then you made a few faux pas. There was the Reynolds girls. I remember that.
I'd rather Jack than Fleetwood Mac.
What was that all about?
What a fantastic! That's a cult record now, Barry.
Oh.
Do you know what? Radio 1 played that to death. Simon Bates, I don't know why, he picked up on it and he said, "I like this." Now, they were strange people. They were managed by their father, who was about 73 years of age, and he wanted to play keyboards on their records.
It was an unusual record, but I mean, you had so many good artists. You had Donna Summer as well.
Yeah.
I mean, how did that come about?
Well, basically, Warner Brothers asked us to produce her.
Really?
Yeah, and we did 1 album. Fantastic.
It was a brilliant. It was the best stuff that she'd ever done for me.
That album, I tell you, is in my top 3 of all time. The songs in that. This Time I Know It's For Real.
Yeah.
Every track on there is.
Well, they were good songs, but they were really slickly produced.
She has got an incredible voice.
Yeah.
And of course, I knew Donna because I'd worked with before. When at Pi, we had Casablanca.
Right.
So I first met her, believe it or not, in 1978 in New York, when she was just taking off her career with Casablanca.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew her husband Bruce. So very sad that she died. Lovely lady.
Yeah. But again, a great artist, and so you had this fantastic roster of artists, and then Pete and the boys, they decided to try and do it themselves, didn't they? They'd have a record themselves. And tell us the story behind that, because this is a brilliant one.
Oh, the real... Oh, my God. You mean our big record?
Roadblock. The white label.
The Roadblock record, yeah.
Yeah, Roadblock.
Well, basically, there's a guy called Mike Sefton at A&M. Said, Tills, I want to do a record with you guys. This is how it came about. He ran a label called A&M Breakout, was their dance label. And I said, yeah, but the boys want to make, because they all want to be stars, don't they? I mean, producers, no, they want to be on TV. So we basically Mike and Matt start making this record, like a James Brown type record.
Yeah.
And we're putting all these little things in it. And we get a girl called China, who's a very famous session singer in London. She does all the, it's going to be a roadblock. Yeah. And anyway, cut long story short.
How'd it go again?
It's going to be a roadblock. I'm going to rock this.
I remember it now, yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, we make this 6-minute record, and hey, it's sensational.
Yeah. It was a great record.
Pete and I are sitting there going, this can't be, we can't run this. Nobody will believe you. Yeah. So basically what we did, we made 1,000 presses, white labels, and they put the catalogue number on them accidentally when they bloody pressed it.
Right.
So Pete and I had to sit in the basement for 2 nights and scratch out all the
Really?
numbers so nobody knew who it was. What we did then, we mailed it out in a white label, but we put our New York lawyer's phone number on it, contact.
So everybody thought it was an import.
Everybody thought it was American.
Yeah.
Within a week of that record being in the clubs, the lawyer in New York was getting really, really... He was getting like about 30 calls a day from Pete, Tom, Robbie, Vince, every major record company going, we got to have this record.
Yeah.
And then we had to let the cat out of the bag. It was already signed to A&M Breakout, and they ran the record. And that was it.
And all the DJs were already playing it, which they probably wouldn't have done otherwise.
They would never have played it in a million years, Barry. Yeah. And they were all going, I've heard records by this group before, you know, these are... Is this their third... You know, the whole, you know... Yeah, I had it on import on a different label, you know, all that.
Yeah.